Happy 2025. I am here to show you all the books that I acquired, bought, or was given to me in December. I have a huge haul and I'm hoping that I can rectify this in 2025 because I do not need this many books. Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today, like I said, I have a huge book haul from December to show you. But before we get into the video, always like and subscribe. I am trying to hit 1,000 subscribers and I am so close. So come join my community. Also, check my description box down below for all the links to my socials, Patreon, Pango Books account, my Bookish Box Ambassador link where you can get 10% off their entire site, including this Fireheart t-shirt and so much more. Also, I have a book club on Fable. The link is down below as well. We are off to a good start in 2025 reading A Kiss of Iron by Claire Sager. Alright, so let's start off the video with some of my favorite editions of this series, which I got from Acrylipics, and I got their bundle where I got the A Court of Thorns and Roses Rainbow Edition and the Crescent City series as well, with all of the overlays. So here is the Crescent City series, and like I said, it does come with overlays. I haven't put them in the books yet. House of Earth and Blood. Isn't this beautiful? I love it, and it's just a standard hardback underneath, but it's so gorgeous. The next one is House of Sky and Breath, and I think these editions are absolutely beautiful. I know I'm going to say that about a lot of books here, but they're just stunning, you guys. And House of Flame and Shadow. I think Acrylipics does an amazing job, which I do own their Throne of Glass series, the one that makes the beautiful castle with the Lord of the North on it, and I have shown that in a previous video. And here are the A Court of Thorns and Roses Rainbow editions. I know that they have the ones where you can get them. They're like black and blue, and they have the mountain with the 3 stars. But I really wanted these. So I have overlays. I've tried to put them in here in the first book. However, I need to go back and put them in correctly. But the first one is A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's really pretty, you guys. I think they did an amazing job on this. And then you have A Court of Mist and Fury. I think this is beautiful. And I really like how Feyre is painting Rhys in some of his most turbulent times. But then you also have the drinking and everything where they're playing cards. And then you have A Court of Wings and Ruin. I think Acrylipics did an amazing job on portraying these books. A Court of Frost and Starlight. And I really love it because you can see the Illyrians in the air, and it's just so beautiful. And A Court of Silver Flames. I love everything about this, and I love that they have the Valkyries on the back. You guys, I think Acrylipics really blew this out of the water. I do believe that there are still new batches being made, so they're not entirely sold out. I will try to leave the link to their website down below. If I don't have their website, then I will definitely leave their Instagram below. Alright, so next up we have book mail from Entangled Publishing, and they sent me this beautiful box and a card that's in here that says your night is booked. And the book in here is The Playboy by Marnie Mann. It has sprayed edges. This is not an ARC or anything. I believe this is a finished copy. But thank you so much for Entangled Publishing for sending this to me. I cannot wait to dive into this new book. And it's about one look is all it takes. Discover the sizzling, grumpy sunshine, one night stand romance that has book talk begging for just one more page. Another book that I was so excited to get a physical copy of is Blood Tribute by Vela Roth. This is just a little novella, but I absolutely love having physical copies of them. And she also signed it, personalized it, and even put her favorite quote from the book in here. So that's always really nice. Of course, I have already read this because this was part of the anthology Roses and Daggers. It also came with this beautiful art print, and I just think it's beautiful. So right after Christmas, me and my husband had went to Books A Million because one of the ladies that I work with had gotten me a gift card there. And he ended up spoiling me because I was just going to get one book from the bargain section, and it's more like a coffee table book. It's not one that you read like sitting down in one thing. It's something to kind of flick through, read little short stories. But he splurged on me, and I tell you what, best husband ever. So he got me The Scarlet Veil by Shelby Mahurin. This one is the paperback special edition that came out. I don't know if it is in every bookstore, but I do know Books A Million has these. He got me two romances, and this one is Truly, Madly, Deeply by Alexandria Bellafleur. I tried to get an ARC copy of this. Sadly, I was declined, but I'm so happy to finally get to read this. Another ARC that I was declined on, but nonetheless, I plan on reading it anyway, is Love and Other Conspiracies by Mallory Marlowe. I really love this. I think this is a rom-com, and it deals with a paranormal conspiracy theorist and a web series producer. So I'm all for that. It has, you know, Bigfoot behind there, and I just can't wait to get into this story. So the book that I was going to get is made up of all of these different like short stories, historical ones, and it is called Conspiracies, History's Greatest Plots, Collusions, and Cover-Ups. It's just something that I like to research, but it has different photographs in here about different things that have happened throughout history. So I can't wait to kind of dive into a few of these stories. A lot of them I've heard about, but some of them I haven't. My pre-order for volume 4, My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. I still have yet to read the first volume. I know I'm gonna love it, but I need to really get onto my manga and graphic novel shelf and just get caught up with everything that I have, because I know that I have quite a few pre-orders that are gonna be coming in 2025, and I think this series I'm still gonna be getting more. I need to get caught up. And then I think the June or July Midnight Whispers monthly one was the Legacy series by Melissa K. Rorick, which, you know, I love Lady of Darkness, and I need to finish up the last 2 books in that series so I can get to the Legacy series. But this is the Midnight Whispers edition. It comes with foiling and a whole dust jacket, the end papers, and then also it is signed. And the hard cover looks like this. And then the reverse dust jacket. Look how gorgeous that is. I don't know which one I want to display, but I'm so excited I have that. Storm of Secrets and Sorrow. It matches the first book, and the end papers are another storm, but a different color. And this one is signed also. The hard cover has a different I like to say they're like Greek gods on here, to be honest with you. But the reverse dust jacket, again, I don't know which one I like the most, but they are stunning additions. And then the December Fairy Loot Romantasy was a Love Most Divine, and this is a beautiful edition. It is called Heavenly Bodies by Amani Iru. This color palette on this book is really stunning. It makes me want to dive into this book immediately, and I have yet to read even the indie version. And then it is also, I believe, signed or has a letter from the author. It is signed by the author. The naked hardcover. Here is the naked hardcover. It is beautiful. So beautiful. And then the reverse dust jacket is just a different colorway of what the original book looks like. So I will definitely say the Romantasy box from Fairy Loot has been hit or miss this year. I will say I think that I have ended up liking most of the books that have came out of it. So I think I'm going to keep the subscription for now. My December probably smut came in. I've already taken out the t-shirt because I love to wear their t-shirts. They have such good quality. But of course, we have a sticker pack that correlates to the book. You get an annotation key and an annotation kit. And then the back can serve as a bookmark, and it says Book Lover. I think it's beautiful. And then you also get some book review pages to put in your book journal that you can get from them as well. And the December book is Greenlight by Jessie Hall. It is signed. I am definitely going to be getting rid of this book, not because I don't want to give Jessie Hall a try, but there has been some controversy about what they have put in their books before, like racism and a bunch of different things. So I just don't want to try the author. It kind of put me off, so I will definitely be selling this. So Butterfly Book Box was having a sale of previous books that they had overstock of. So I went ahead and picked up this book, but it's A Rivalry of Hearts by Tasanya Odette, and this is kind of the bookmark that you get with it. It says, "Those closest to me have always said my imagination would be my downfall." You do get a signed book plate and even an author letter, and then you also get some graphics on the back. But this is beautiful. It is very simple, but yet gorgeous. I love the edges on here. Oh, I hadn't even looked in here, but the end papers, I love the artwork. And then look at this naked hardcover. It's so simple and so elegant. I don't know. I love it whenever book boxes do simple changes, but yet they look elegant. I don't like something that has a lot of foil and a lot of flair onto it. I think this one definitely shows that it can be a beautiful book. The next one is December Owl Crate's Adult Fantasy, which I will be getting rid of, so I've left it in the plastic. And that is The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. This is a very beautiful edition. However, this is like a cozy fantasy, so I will definitely be getting rid of this book. I just don't want to dive into a cozy fantasy story whenever none of them have worked out for me. So I want this to go to someone who is definitely going to love and cherish it. I also was gifted by the author, since I am on their street team, the second book, which is called The Mirror in the Mountain by Dana Evan. I love that this is a very simple and stunning hardcover, but she did end up signing it. And she even put a little quote, "Eyes up," which I think is very fitting for the story. And she also put some graphic cards in here. I absolutely love all of it. If you have not read The Other Side of the Mirror, which is the first book in this trilogy, go read it. I have put it on so many videos about best books of the year, books that got me out of a book slump. It is a dark fantasy romance, so definitely check trigger warnings before going into this series, but I am raving about it. I already finished up book 2. I had gotten an arc of it, but wasn't able to finish it before the book came out. But I just finished it, you guys, and I need book 3 immediately. The next is my Moonlight book box for December, which is A Hunt So Wild and Cruel by Rebecca F. Kinney. This is a naked hardcover, and it has a lot of foiling on it. It does have some glossy, beautiful end papers. And then it also is signed by the author. I am going to be doing some research. I don't know if I'm going to keep this because it doesn't really look like a book that I would really be into, especially whenever they have horns and antlers. So I'm thinking that they are shapeshifters possibly. And that's not really my vibe, but we'll see. I also got sent to me a Patreon exclusive cover of Corrupt Shadows by Rebecca L. Garcia and C.M. Hutton. This is beautiful. I cannot show you the artwork that came with it, but it is signed by them. I'm so happy that they are doing Patreon exclusive covers because I've been a Patreon member of Rebecca's ever since she launched it. I absolutely love Rebecca so much because I have met her. I went to Authors in the Bluegrass over 2 years ago, had breakfast with her. I think that she is a lovely person. And then also I know C.M. Hutton from Bookstagram. I used to work with her with another author. So I love both of them and I can't wait to get more of these exclusive covers. The next 2 books are books that my mother had got me for Christmas. I gave her my book wish list, which there's probably 150 books on there, but she went through and she doesn't read, so she doesn't know like what would be something that I would enjoy over others, but I think she picked a couple good ones. I am very happy for them. This one is A Flame Under the Moon by Monica Amor. I don't know what this is. I think this has been on my wish list for quite a while, so I love this. And I think the reason why she picked this one out is because I'm really big into astronomy and everything, so I think she picked this because of the cover. But then the next one is Be Still My Heart by Emily McIntyre and Sav R. Miller. This one I think is going to be a gut-wrenching book, and I asked her why she picked it and she said that it just sounded like something that I would enjoy. So my mom did an amazing job for Christmas. The next one was my pre-order at Waterstones for the deluxe edition of Heavenly Bodies by Amani Iru. I forgot that I had even pre-ordered this, and I think I have another Waterstones exclusive as well. I don't know if it's came out in the US yet, but I already have my copies because of the UK. But this is like a naked hardcover. I think it's beautiful, and the inside has this beautiful foiling, and I just think it's absolutely beautiful. Oh, I didn't know it was signed. Oh, I did not know it was signed. That is a new discovery for me. The next one is probably going to be a little controversial, but I absolutely loved this book, and I actually enjoy most of the books this author writes. I think I've read everything that she has published. So I saw on Pango that somebody was selling, I think it's Fae Crate possibly, or a different book box, had done this cover, and it is 1,000 Heartbeats by Kira Cass. I loved this story. It was beautiful. I think about it all of the time, honestly, and I know that her writing isn't necessarily the greatest. She is well known for her Selection series, which I actually enjoyed. It's definitely young adult, but I enjoyed it. And then she came out with a duology, Betrothed and Betrayed. Those were not so good. I read both of them. I felt like they were just all over the place. And then she came out with 1,000 Heartbeats. this is a beautiful story. If you did enjoy her writing in the selection, but want something, you know, maybe more unified and has went through some refining and has matured as an author, definitely pick up 1,000 Heartbeats. It's a standalone, it's beautiful, and I absolutely loved it. I then also got the new book in the series. Of course, I've already read it, but Nikki St. Croix does these beautiful editions of her series. So I have Devourer of Men by Nikki St. Croix. This is the foiled beautiful paperback, and it is signed by Nikki St. Croix. I own all 4 books in the Vicious Lost Boys series, and whenever she shut down her Patreon, because that's how I was getting those, is she would send a copy to everyone who is a Patreon member on a certain level, and now she has kind of her own store, and I think she is trying to steer away from it, but I was happy to pick this up, and I hope that she is doing the second book in this duology as a beautiful cover so I can have a matching set. I also picked up Sally's Lament by Mari Mancusi. This is in the A Twisted Tale series, and this one is What If Sally Discovered Christmas Town. If you've been a follower of mine for any length of time, you know that Nightmare Before Christmas is one of my favorites. So whenever there was a reverse on that story, I was like, yes, please. I am purchasing this today. I then saw on Pango that somebody was selling the, I think, October Evernight book from Illumicrate, and that is An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson. This book intrigues me so much. It is a standalone, but I wanted a beautiful copy of it. And it came, she sent me a bunch of stickers, but yeah, it was the October Evernight book. And look at these end papers and the naked hard cover. It's the same all around. I am so intrigued with this book. I know that there are quite a lot of people that have read it, and it is signed by her. And I really wanted to get it because, of course, I have heard that this is a dark academia, and on the back it says, one of the linens in the mirror didn't strike its cheek. It didn't move at all, really, except to smile. So I'm excited to dive into this. I don't know if I'm going to wait until like the September-October time frame, or if I'm going to read it before then, but I am desperate to get to this one. I then got my November Moonlight book box, which was Blood and Steel by Helen Shure. This is a naked hardcover, and I am really going to be reading this year because I have heard so many people rave about it, and I think a spin-off series is coming out in February, and it's like Iron and Embers, I believe, so I really need to get caught up. This is a beautiful edition, and I hope that if I do love it, that the Moonlight book box will end up doing more editions of these in the series. And then my pre-order for the deluxe edition of Hooked by Emily McIntyre came in. I actually forgot that I had pre-ordered this. It comes with these beautiful edges, and then on the inside it does have some artwork, which I think is beautiful. I don't know if it has it throughout. I don't think it does, but I did forget that I had pre-ordered this. I liked Hooked. I think I gave it 3 stars, but I am going to go on and finish the rest of the series because I've heard that some of the books are some of people's favorites, like Frost, I believe, which is the 4th or 5th book that's came out, and it's like a Hunchback of Notre Dame retelling. I've heard a lot of people love that one, so I have a few books to read before I get to that one. I know I can read them in any order, but I'm one of those that I like to read them in order. My butterfly book box for December came in, and it is The Dagger in the Forbidden Air by Amelia J. These edges, let's just talk about those for a second. Beautiful, sharp, stunning, love it. And then, of course, the end papers are beautiful as well. I love all of the artist's renditions. and it does have a signed book plate in there. And then the naked hardcover, it does wrap around, which is beautiful. I am deciding if I am going to keep Butterfly Book Box because it comes from the UK. I pay kind of hefty in shipping costs, and these are always like B format books that they're not full size, and I don't know if I like that. So I'm gonna be doing some research. I may end up getting rid of Butterfly. Let me know if any of you are subscribers, if you love their book selection or kind of your thoughts, because I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep them or not. And then the December young adult fantasy book from Fairy Loot is Dragon Lore. And I think I am going to be getting rid of this one as well. It is A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. It's just not a book that I think I'm going to enjoy. Nothing against the author. Oh, it is crinkled up at the bottom as well. But it doesn't seem like something that I would enjoy. I'm going to think about it and see what I think on here. Oh, it's not signed. It does have a letter from the author, though. The naked hardcover is beautiful, and the reverse dust jacket is also beautiful. I just need to really think about the books that I'm keeping. Am I actually going to read it, or would I actually enjoy it? Because I'm keeping a lot of books because they're beautiful, and that's not a reason to keep them. So that's one of my goals in 2025, is to kind of cut down on the books that I'm getting in, and then also the books that I'm keeping. Speaking of getting rid of books, I need to figure out if I'm going to be getting rid of these multiple copies that I have. This one is the December adult fantasy box. It's Pretty Lies, and it's another copy of this book that I had already read as an ARC and didn't enjoy it, and that is The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. See, this is where they get me. I think these are beautiful additions, and I don't want to get rid of them. But in all honesty, did I enjoy the book? Will I want to keep it on that enjoyment? It does have a bound-in letter from the author. The naked hardcover is beautiful as well. And then it is a different colorway on what the original cover is. I really wanted to love this book. I'm not going to go into my review of it. You can go watch my review of books I read in November, I believe. And I love it. I love the additions. I love how stunning they are, the colorways and everything, but I need to really reread this and see if I'm actually going to keep it. If not, I will be selling it. I then got on Pango the first indie print of Karina Halley's book, River of Shadows. This is a hardcover. I had never seen it before, so I thought that that was really, really neat. I haven't read it yet, but Karina Halley is one of my favorite authors, so I was like, you know what? I want to get a beautiful, like, first printing edition of this book because I just love everything this woman writes. My pre-order for A Wish for Us by Tilly Cole came in. I wanted Tilly Cole to rip my heart out again, and so I purchased another one of her books. It has the pink sprayed edges, and it says a story of music, a story of healing, a story of love conquering all. I am ready. Tilly Cole, I'm ready for you to rip my heart out. I'm ready for you to make me ugly cry and curl up in a ball. I really loved 1,000 Boy Kisses. I need to read 1,000 Broken Pieces, and then I want to read this one. I know that Tilly Cole wrote some dark romances as well. I don't know if I'll end up liking those, but I want to read a lot of her backlist because I love her writing. My Arcane Society editions, was this November? I don't remember if this was November's or Septembers. It's one of them. But the first book is Into Their Woods by Ivy Asher and Ann Denton. Arcane does beautiful editions as well. They're one of the book boxes that I don't want to get rid of. The naked hardcover, you guys. The naked hardcover. It's beautiful. I think that I am going to be getting rid of this book because it is signed by both of the authors, and it did come with some art prints and a letter from the author. I think I'm going to be getting rid of this because it is a wolf shifter romance, and it also is a why choose wolf shifter romance, and you guys know I'm not a wolf shifter girly, so this one I'm definitely going to be getting rid of. And then the other one, because Arcane does 2 books, so the other one was the Osseous Chronicles by Ivy Asher. I don't know what this one is about. Definitely giving me like gothic, dark romance in here, but it does have a letter from the author and then also some artwork. Oh, The Bone Witch. Oh, okay. Is this the whole omnibus of those? It is signed by Ivy Asher. I guess it is. So The Bone Witch, something that I did want to read. I guess this is the omnibus of it. Okay. The beautiful naked hardcover, and then the back is kind of plain. It's beautiful. It really is. I think this is one that I probably will look into and probably try and read because I do love Ivy Asher's writing. I loved her book that she wrote. It was called The Order of Scorpions. It's a standalone, and it's kind of like a why choose, and I loved that book. I loved it so much. So I want to read more from Ivy Asher, so I think this one I'm definitely going to keep and give it a try. I then purchased Al Crate's special edition of The Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Rosh, and it is stunning, you guys. It has sprayed edges, and then the back of it. I know they came out with like a whole book box of it, but I just wanted the book. And then you have the end papers, and it is signed and has a letter from the author in it. The naked hardcover. Oh, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. I love this. I think this is a love story between like Jack Skellington and Santa Claus, I believe, from A Nightmare Before Christmas. And I am so excited. Both of them are men. They fall in love. I think I am going to love this story. Luna and Lore was doing kind of a sale in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I believe, or maybe it was even in November at some point, of books that were in their previous boxes that they had overstock of. So I got the Invoking the Blood by Callista Neath. This has a clear dust jacket on it, and it is signed by the author. I read about this and I really, really wanted it, but I didn't want to pay to have a subscription. And whenever they had extra copies, I was like, yes, please. And then the second book is A Trial of Lace and Bone. And you guys, I'm so excited to own these. I didn't want to miss out on them, but at the same time, I didn't want to be a subscription member because I do not need more subscriptions. Other Luna and Lore books that came in, we have The Marionettes by Katie Wismer. This is a very thin book, but I think it's book 1 in this series, so it is signed. And then I also got Wicked Souls by the same author. I think it's in the same series, to be honest. And I was like, hey, I'm in. It's about vampires. So I went ahead and picked up these 2 books. Somehow I do this every time. It's always every year or every couple of months. I end up getting 2 copies of a book that I pre-ordered because I think that I pre-ordered them twice and I forget that I already have them pre-ordered. So I have 2 copies of The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent, and it is signed by her. It's not a special edition or anything. It just has her signature. So I am going to be probably doing a giveaway for one of these because I do not need 2 copies, especially whenever I have special editions coming from Acrylic and Fairy Loot. I had done a special giveaway for the extra copy that I had got of this, but this is the Waterstones signed exclusive of Quicksilver by Callie Hart. It has the purple edges and it is signed by her. Up here you can see it. I ended up having 2 copies. Again, I totally forgot that I ordered it twice, so I've already given it away. Someone has already won, but I really love this book. It was a 5-star read. And then the young adult fantasy book for November was The Love and Vendetta, and it is For She Is Wrath by Emily Varga. I think I'm going to be getting rid of this. I don't know. This is one of those that I'm going to think about. It is signed by the author, and the beautiful end papers, the beautiful naked hardcover, and then it has a different colorway of what the original cover looks like. Again, I read this as an ARC back in September before it was ever published, and I don't think that I enjoyed it. I think it was too young adult for me, so I think I might be getting rid of it. The Fairy Loot adult fantasy book was For the Fortunes Found, and it is another book that I am definitely getting rid of, and it is The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. I'm getting rid of the Acrylic edition, and then this is the Fairy Loot edition. It's beautiful. I definitely think that a lot of people will end up loving this book for one reason or another. It does have a bound-in letter from the author. The naked hardcover, listen you guys, it is beautiful, okay? I say beautiful, okay, because these books, I mean, there's no way to better describe them. But I will definitely be getting rid of this because, like I said, it is like a cozy fantasy and they are just not my vibe. Yes, here is the other Waterstones exclusive edition of Heavenly Bodies, which has a beautiful sprayed edge. And is this one signed? I don't know. Am I going to be surprised? Nope, this one is not signed, but it has the beautiful symbols everywhere. I definitely love all of the different editions that I'm getting of this book. I need to read it immediately. So another butterfly book box. Is this for November? I think it is November. And that is By the Orchid and the Owl by Mariah Montoya. And I didn't realize that it was like jungle vibes because I didn't get that from the original cover. It does have beautiful end papers. And it does have a signed book plate, I believe. Maybe it doesn't, or maybe I have lost it. But the naked hardcover is really pretty. This one, I just don't think that I'm going to enjoy. I thought that I would because of the synopsis, but upon looking at this artwork, I am going to put this in the maybe pile because I don't know if I'm going to want to read this. I'm trying to remember what company I got this book from because they did go out of business. They just had their last sale like a couple weeks ago. I want to say it's like the Signed Bookshop possibly. So I got the omnibus of Black Sunshine and The Blood is Love by Karina Halley. It's the Dark Eyes duet. I do already own multiple versions, But again, I already expressed to you how much I absolutely love Karina Halley. So look at this naked hardcover. It's so beautiful. So I went ahead and got this, and I do think it came from the Signed Bookshop or something like that. And I think that they are closed now, which is sad because this is a beautiful edition. My pre-order for House of Pounding Hearts by Olivia Wildenstein came in. Of course, I absolutely love Olivia Wildenstein, but why do I have so many copies of this series? Anyway, it has the sprayed edges. That's the only thing that is like special about it. Do you see where I need to in 2025 kind of rethink how I'm keeping books? I did have a Dark and Quirky, I believe, quarterly subscription, which I did cancel. I think that I kept their Wicked one or something that's every quarter, or maybe it's their Onyx. I don't know. Okay, I don't even remember which one it is. I do have one still left with them, but I did cancel it because of the books that came in. I was like, these are just not my vibe. These are books that I'm just not going to keep. Nothing wrong with them. It's just not my taste. So we have The Fisherman Duet by Jewel E. Ann. It's a beautiful naked hardcover with beautiful edges, but not my vibe. Not my vibe at all. Here is the end papers. And then, oh, you have a overlay that comes in it, and it is signed. The overlay is. But yeah, it's dark and quirky. And I am going to end up, I did cancel the subscription. This was the fall of 2024 books. So I'm going to be putting these all up on my Pango. This one is Maestro by Auden Dar. It has sprayed edges. They are all naked hardcovers. It comes with a beautiful art print. I didn't show you the one in The Fisherman, but it has an art print as well. And the art print does do the overlay, which is also signed. Beautiful editions, you guys. Like, absolutely stunning. I just don't think that these are gonna be my vibe. This one is Contractually Yours by Nadia Lee. It has beautiful edges. And then on the inside, of course, the art print, the end papers, and then you have the overlay that I've already put in there. And then the final book that was in that box was Antidote by Shea Ruby. If I was to keep any of these, I think I would probably keep this one just for the looks of it. But it's definitely, like I said, not my vibe. You have the art prints, the end papers, and then you also have the overlay that is signed as well. So I was happy that I gave them a try. You know, just sometimes it doesn't work out whenever they're just not your vibe. And then I also got my Page and Wick book in, which is a book I'm also going to be getting rid of. It is A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. King Fisher. This one I got in Owl Crate, I think, and I've already gotten rid of that one. The end papers is a tiny book as well. It's like really tiny. And then you have the end papers. It is also signed. And then you have the naked hardcover. So like I said, I really have to do a deep dive into what books I'm keeping, and this one is just not one that I want to keep. I did purchase a few books from another booktuber on their Pango Books account. So I have Promises and Pomegranates by Sav R. Miller. I think this is the indie version. So I ended up purchasing it because the copy that I had was not in good condition. I mean, it's in good condition. It just, I wanted the matte indie cover. And then this one came from a book box, Dark and Quirky. Yeah. And it is Making the Cut by Anne Malcolm, The Sons of Templar. So I guess I like some of the Dark and Quirky, but not enough to really make me want to keep the subscription. And then the last one I got was Hostile Saint by India R. Adams, which of course these are signed and everything, by the authors. So I ended up getting those off Pango Books account from the other booktuber, and I am pretty happy that I got them. 2 books that I received as gifts from you guys, my subscribers. So the first one that I got was A Nameless Curse by G.W. Prowse. I was so excited to receive this, so thank you, Geneva, for sending me this book. And then I also have Ancient Protector by Katie Roos, which again, this was sent by another person named Linda. So thank you, Linda, for sending me this. My book wish list is always down below, and I will always make it a priority to try to get to your books that you send me first. Sometimes it won't work, but you know, I can't wait to try this. And then 2 other books that I am going to be getting rid of, they came from Eternal Embers. I want to say that I've already gotten rid of the other 2, but it is Bane and Scandalous by L.J. Shin. They're beautiful editions. They're still in the wrapping, but I think these were the add-ons that I could do, and I don't think that I've kept the other 2 that I got. I am on the last stack of books, finally. So we do have from Owlcrate the Powerless series. So we do have Powerful. Like, why is this book so tiny? But it does have something that it says, just count the stars. And this book made me cry so hard. Yeah. It definitely did. It has the naked hardcover, and then this makes me cry too, the reverse dust jacket. Ugh, Lauren Roberts really tore my heart out with this little novella, and I'm happy that I read it between book 1 and 2. And then we have book 1, which is Powerless. So it has very stunning edges, and it says vicious little thing. The end papers, knife to the throat. I'm here for it. It is signed with a letter from the author. The naked hardcover, and then also the reverse dust jacket. I have way too many versions of this series, so definitely be on the lookout on which ones I'm going to be getting rid of. And then we have Reckless, which is book 2. And it says, pretend with me, question mark. I don't think there's going to be any pretend. And this one is not signed. And then you have the naked hardcover, and then also the reverse dust jacket. So I'm definitely going to need to see which ones I am going to keep, because I have way too many copies and I don't think I need that many copies of this series. The next one is a pre-order from Arcane, and it is the Anne Bishop series. So I don't even know what order these go in, so I apologize, but we have Queen of the Darkness. And like I said, you guys, they do the most beautiful customizations. And then there's a digital signature in there. Oh, this is book 3. Okay. The naked hardcover. I almost dropped that. And then I'm going to guess this is probably book 2. Heir to the Shadows. And I guess there are dragons in here, because that's what I'm getting. Like I said, a digital signature. And then the naked hardcover. But the first book, I love the cover the most. And it is Daughter of the Blood. It's just so beautiful. I love it. And like I said, again, a digital signature on the end papers, and then the naked hardcover. So such a beautiful little trilogy here. I don't know if there's more books than that, but I really want to read this because I have heard that these are just some of the best fantasy romances with dragons. And then from LitJoy, to continue my special edition annotated and signed editions of Holly Black's Feyworld. I have The Darkest Part of the Forest, and it's a naked hardcover. But this one is, of course, signed and annotated by Holly Black. So there's the signature. And then as you can see, whenever you get through it, there are annotations in here. So I'm pretty excited. It did come with 2 art prints also, and this will match my Folk of the Air series. And did I get another one in this series? I can't remember, but it matches them perfectly, so I will be collecting these. And then from Moonlight Book Box, there were 2 books in one of the months. And what month was this? I can't remember, but it's a book series that I need to give it another shot or just get rid of it. So we have the Book of Azrael, and as you guys know, I DNF'd this book and didn't realize that it was coming from Moonlight. Yeah, it is signed by the author, and it came with an art print as well. And then it also came with book 2, which is The Throne of Broken Gods. And I know that book 3 just came out, I think. So it has beautiful end papers. And this one is not signed by the author. But as you guys know, I DNF'd the Book of Azrael, so I need to give that another shot to see if I even want to keep that series. The final 2 books in this book haul is my Bookish Box August books from the Bookish Box and the Darkly box. So we'll start off with the Darkly box, which is The Graham Effect by L. Kennedy. I will be getting rid of this one. It is a beautiful edition, and it matches the series that they did, and I think they were doing a reprint of it possibly. But you have the end papers, and then it is signed by the author, the naked hardcover, and then also the reverse dust jacket. This takes place, I think, 18-20 years after book 1 in the original series. So it is that couple's daughter who is a hockey player, and it's a romance with another hockey player. So I will be getting rid of this one. And then the Bookish Box edition of House of Bane and Blood by Alexis L. Menard. I don't know how I feel about this edition. Normally Bookish Box does beautiful editions that I want to keep, but I'm a little skeptical on here. Ooh, these are glossy and beautiful. Okay. And it is signed. You have the naked hardcover, and then you also have the reverse dust jacket, which I like the reverse dust jacket a little bit more than this one that they have currently on here. All right, you guys, those are all the books that I got in December. I have quite an unhaul right here that I am going to be getting rid of, so just be checking my Pango Books account. And then the other ones that I'm thinking about, I'm going to be either testing them out, seeing if I like them, and I may put them on my Pango. But I cannot wait for 2025. I can't wait to shrink my library down and shrink the amount of books that I'm getting in each month. I know that it's going to take a few months to really kind of see that progression, but I can't wait to do that. Anyway, let me know down below any thoughts that you have about any of the books that I got. Also, thank you so much for the subscribers that did send me books in December. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all of your love and support. And if you do not want to leave a comment, but you want to let me know that I was here, leave me a rainbow emoji for the rainbow ACOTAR set that I got, and let me know that you at least watched till the end. But I hope you all have a great start to your 2025, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!